yeah! Hello there everyone, it is I, E.T. Templar, Alien Crusader from Beyond the Heavens, here to entertain and destroy through the power of meme magic. So, speaking of meme magic and destroying, there is a new sexual identity flame war. And what cooked it off was this. I'm gonna play this.
Yo guys, I made a new sexuality now, actually. It's called super straight, okay? Since straight people, or straight men as myself, I get called transphobic because I wouldn't date a trans woman. You know, they're like, would you date a trans woman? I'm like, no, why? That's a female. No, like, that's not a real woman to me. Like, I want real woman. No, you're just transphobic. So now, I'm super straight. I only date the opposite gender, women, that are born women. So you can't say I'm transphobic now because that's just my sexuality, you know?
So, very straightforward, right? And if the whole point of sexual identity politics is basically people being validated for their choice in sexual behavior, then super straight, super gay, and super lesbian should all have the right to their say to what they do as far as identity, right? Because isn't that what the whole point of these different identities is? But of course, how do you think these people reacted to this? Were most of these people, were they the tolerant, open-minded liberals that we know of? No, in fact, they started with this. The original guy had to take down the video because they sent death threats to his mother. And of course, if you see on screen here, and I'll read some of these. If I ever see anyone calling themselves a super straight, I won't hesitate to kill them with my bare hands. Here's another one. I'm going to attack and kill anyone identifying as super straight, by the way. Smiley face. And then, of course, there's another one. I wish all super straight people an ugly evening. I'm coming to kill you all. Here's another one. Super straight, more like super I want to kill more of you. And of course, these are coming from people who, again, mind you, are tolerant, open-minded leftists. Their heart is open to everyone's decisions. And you know, when it comes to, you know, sexual identity politics, that's all people's choice, and no one should be forced into a particular identity or bracket, right? Right, because that's what the whole idea is. Expressing yourself, your freedom of choice, right? Because that's what I thought it was mostly about. But now you have extremists of this sexual identity politics saying, you date that trans woman. Right? You have people threatening other people over their own choice in orientation or sexual identity, right? So it's weird. This has only revealed, of course, what most of cultural Marxism and leftism and stuff like that is, just how hypocritical they are. It's, you better think their way, dance to their tune, or otherwise you're a Nazi bigot, right? Of course, I jokingly jumped in on the super straight thing too, and there was people you know, of course, got triggered over that. And it's just funny how the thing that's supposed to have everyone freedom of choice, expression, how they express themselves, all of a sudden, super straight, super gay, super lesbian can't because they're not interested in trans people for whatever the reason is, and that's their choice, right? I mean, again, maybe I just misconstrued this, but I thought the whole idea of that form of thought or ideology was saying, you can't tell me who to have relationships with, he, her, them, zims, or whatever, right? But no, these people are all of a sudden saying it's haram to be super straight, super gay, super lesbian, so on and so forth. But there's also one person who said it was something along the lines that it was created by a Nazi? Oh yeah, So here's the tweet, which I'll share on screen, and I'll get into. Okay, this is one of the quotes people responded to. It was made by a neo-Nazi. Okay. So if it's bad just because it has links to maybe that guy being a neo-Nazi, it still gives people a voice and their opinion, which doesn't necessarily make everyone with that opinion or voice or ideology a Nazi. And this I'm going to get more into in depth, right? Because if everything is bad that has been linked to, Germanic thing, Nazism, or World War II history, let's I'm gonna give you a list of things that are now haram. My God, fucking Windows. Okay, so here's the list of things that have a bad past. Bayer, Nestle, J.P. Morgan and Chase Bank, Coca-Cola, IBM, BMW, Porsche, ITT, Ford Germany, Barclays Bank, Opel, NASA, and Modern American Aviation and Rocketry. Because, during the 1950s, this is very well-known information that I have to get into because people are so dumb. Post-World War II, NASA and the Americans had Operation Paperclip, where they took some of the greatest technological minds of the Third Reich, because we wanted that talent to reach the moon, the stars, to explore space, to see what's truly out there. Basically, everything America has ever done for the past 50, 60 years was because of Nazi scientists, which they were just scientists. They weren't part of the Nazi party, but people just use Nazi scientists because, again, they're nincompoops. But to get back on track, these are people, yes, who did have connections to a shady empires and the Third Reich, but without them, it'd be Russia and the moon, it'd be Russia dominating space, it would be the Soviet Union just totally pantsing us in technology and aviation and rocketry, right? So, of course, that list of things that I said are all linked to World War II and even, dare I say, the Holocaust, some of those companies. So if you enjoy Nestle's chocolate milk or Coca-Cola, you Nazi fuck. See, so, which this leads, of course, to the point of there are people out there who they don't care about politics. They don't care about the rights of others. The only thing they care about and get their jollies off to is controlling people. That's why you have people threatening to kill others over super straight. And that's why you have people just flipping out over all this because they're losing their control over this identity stuff. And that's the only thing they care about. Control and telling people what to do. And on the real, they're just, that's it. They want to control how people react in their daily lives, and they get off on calling people bigots and Nazis because that's the only thing they do all day, and that's the only thing they have. They don't believe in a God. They don't have any hobbies. So what do? They sit on Twitter all day and get mad about people's sexual preference. Which, again, in closing, I still find it weird how there's people get mad about other people's sexual preferences because I thought that's what the original thing about sexual identities was about. But then again, these people just want to control and tell others what to do and make death threats for people's preferences, apparently. So in closing, it's basically extreme the hypocrisy of the extreme left and leftism, where this original idea of sexual liberation, sexual identity, and everything, whatever sexual, they now think they have the right to sell super straight, super gay, and super lesbian, who they can and cannot have relationships with, which is just funny how with most leftism and extreme left shit we see on Twitter and all over the place, it's funny how they're open-minded and tolerant towards all and have a bleeding heart for everyone. until that idea goes against their worldview, and then all of a sudden it's everyone's a bigot, Nazi, transphobe. But then again, if sexual identity is all about sexual preference or personal character, then these people have no right to tell or command what others do with their ding tongs, ho tongues, or biscuits, or whatever, right? Because that's not what the movement was about. But hey, what am I? I'm just some turd on the internet giving my opinion about this, and yeah, it's a big internet flame war. It's freaking hilarious, and it has yet to begun. Especially with these spazoids on Twitter. Oh boy, it's only gonna escalate. They're only gonna scream and breathe some more at other people's personal preference. And is that not what life is about anyway? But hey, what do I know? See you next time. God bless. Stay safe, and watch out for these crazy ass people out there who will threaten you over your personal preference. But it's funny. It's just doubly funny how it's coming from the side who, again, claim to be open-minded, tolerant, and accepting of others.